Hey everyone, it's Kayla. Welcome back to Heroic Pages and welcome back to part 2 of my September book haul because I buy books. Don't we all though? It's becoming a point where I go to feel guilty about buying the books, but I don't really feel guilty. Not really. Nope. So this part of the book haul is going to be containing 9 books that I got off of Book Outlet recently. They had a 50 for 50 sale on Sci-Fi books, and I love fantasy and I do have an appreciation for sci-fi, but I don't read enough sci-fi and I want to read sci-fi. So this whole book purchase that I got from Book Outlet was all sci-fi, and it was awesome. I mean, I got 9 out of the 50 that were on the site, so it's pretty good. This first book, I kind of forget what it's about because I read the description on the site, but it doesn't have like this description on the back of the book. But I do know that I like the premise because I got the book. And that is The Humans by Matt Haig. And it says on the back that The Humans is a Rickrolling. The Humans is a rollicking novel about math and murder, poetry and peanut butter, and casts a sharp eye on the triumphs and foibles of our weird and wonderful species. So this is very much dark humor, dark comedy, and I like that. I think I like that. So I thought this was very interesting to get. These next 2 books you have probably seen a few times as a trilogy that people have been getting, but I saw this on Book Outlet before I saw anyone talking about it on BookTube. Surprisingly, that never happens to me. But I got the first 2 books of the 3-Body Problem trilogy. The trilogy is not called that, but I have the 3-Body Problem and I have the Dark Forest by Liu Cixin. I worked really hard to figure out the pronunciation of the author's name because Chinese is hard. I've seen a few people refer to his name as Cixin, but I know that a C is like a TS sound and an X is like a SH sound, so it's like Cixin, but saying Liu first and then Cixin is kind of hard for me. They've got aliens in it, and this is a very popular science fiction author in China, and it has been translated to English for us. Eventually we'll get my hands on the 3rd book and read them. I'm excited because it's diverse science fiction. Yay. I have heard that there seems to be a little issue with the 2nd book, that it just comes across differently from the 1st book, and I know that the 1st and the 3rd book are translated by the same person and the 2nd book is translated by someone different, so that is something to take into account of translated books. It can be a little hard. Next, we have Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits by David Wong. It says nightmarish villains with superhuman advancements, an all-seeing social network that tracks your every move, mysterious smooth-talking power players who lurk behind the scenes, a young woman from a trailer park, and a very smelly cat. Together they would decide the future of mankind. So I'm hoping this is a sort of humoristic adventure. And that was a squirrel. Next I have Time Salvager by Wesley Chu. This is about the future where Earth is toxic and you can't live on Earth anymore, and humans are living on the outskirts of the solar system, on moons and various things. But our main character is sort of a convicted criminal, but he's also a Quran man who's able to travel back into time, procure various relics of the past, and bring him to the future. And so there are people that think that time travel holds the key to saving humanity from its demise. In his adventures, he does meet someone who is fated to die, but yeah, things happen where that person doesn't die. So it's the whole nuances of time travel and things that can go wrong and the future. Next we have Arkwright by Alex Steele. This is a character-driven book. I got it very much for the fact that it was very much character-driven. It says, a contemporary of science fiction masters Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, and Arthur C. Clarke, Nathan Arkwright was a seminal science fiction author of the 20th century. At the end of his life, he became reclusive and cankerous, refusing to appear before or interact with his legion of fans. Little did anyone know, Nathan was putting into motion his true legacy, to save humanity. Now, after his death, the Arkwright Foundation dedicates itself to the exploration of space and to creating space colonies, with the ultimate goal of finding and colonizing an Earth-like planet several light years distant. Fueled by Nathan's endowment, 3 successive generations of Arkwrights are drawn together and pulled apart by the magnitude of the task and weight of their name as they try to ensure the continuance of humanity in the galaxy. Well, I was very much drawn to the character-driven nature of this book. Next we have The Fall by R.J. Pinheiro. This is about a man named Jack who does one of those free fall things from space. I know that actually happened a couple of years ago in real life, so that's just crazy. But he does this and he somehow gets himself into a parallel universe where he lands himself into a world where he's died and his wife actually loves him still, whereas in his world his wife and him are having issues, and he's got to find a way back home because, you know, his boss is kind of a dick in this parallel universe, and I'm sure there are other factors into that whole thing. The only way he can get back is through another one of those free fall things, and his boss won't let him for some reason. So I thought that was a very intriguing synopsis of a story. Let's read it. Next I have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is one of those books that I've seen many times on BookTube, and it's very much another one of those character-driven stories in a post-apocalyptic kind of universe, or a post-society kind of place, but with a whole bunch of actors. It's spanning decades, moving back and forth in time, and vividly depicting life before and after the pandemic. Suspenseful novel is rife with beauty as people fall in love with people, and so forth, and so beyond and so forth. Things and stuff. The last book I have to share with you is Luna, New Moon by Ian MacDonald. This is about people that live on the moon, and is very much I want to say like a mafia type situation on the moon. There's like various industries on the moon and people who control them, and you know, it's very much power struggles of this one family. So I found that very interesting to pick up. I don't know what else to say about these books. I'm really excited for them. That is all the sci-fi books that I got in that particular book outlet purchase. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned to part 3 of my book haul. It's gonna be a little different. I don't have as many books to talk about in that one, but it's about a specific thing that I want to try and do in the month of October, and hopefully I can get it done. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!